Hello. This is a video that I've been waiting since February to do. So that's February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So that's 8 months. And I'm able to do it now because I've finally passed my driving test. I passed it last Wednesday. 2 minors. But you know, I mean, I haven't really got anything to brag about because it did take me 5 attempts, but I am so relieved that it's all done now and I don't have to worry about it. And even though I've got £5 in my bank account at the minute, like I can I mean, we've just bought a house and that, so I'm not always asking, but you know, at least I've got my pass now sent off for my full license, and then I can get a car when I've got the money. But my God, this journey that it's taken me to pass has just been ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video just about general my driving experience, and a video about driving with Asperger's / autism, because if you're new and you're just coming here for the driving video, this is usually a channel about Asperger's and autism, so, and there's a lot to talk about with all that, so I'm going to leave that separate and just talk about my experience in general, because I know a lot of people struggle with it and a lot of people find it difficult, because the UK driving test is solid. Like, it is so difficult, and the way that it's set out does not suit everybody. Like, you know, everybody's got different ways of learning, and you know, different ways of taking instruction and following directions and stuff, and it's a very one size fits all setup, which I don't think is very helpful. So yeah, my first test that I took was back in February, so as I said, 8 months ago. That was at the start of February, and the day before, or a couple of days before, I'd moved from Sheffield to Cannock to live with my boyfriend Brad, and Brad had to drive me all the way back up to Sheffield, bless him, nothing's too much trouble, and all the way back. And he didn't mind doing that. He offered to do it and he didn't moan and that, and he was very supportive and very encouraging and whatnot. But I completely and utterly ballsed the test up. I mean, I was absolutely shitting myself. I have never been that nervous in my life, and I'm an anxious person, you know. So, I mean, this was just like next level. I felt like I was on Oblivion at Alton Towers, and there was nothing I could do about it other than just go down. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was fucking horrible. And my instructor, I didn't know this till after, but my instructor that I had in Sheffield for like over a year, he didn't even teach me that I had to check my centre mirror when joining a new road. So there was me just going through it all and thinking, oh yeah, this is fine, not checking my centre mirror and not like knowing and understanding the sequences of your mirrors and that, which is like really important if you want to drive safely. I don't know why that bit was missed out, but before we even left the test centre, I think I failed on my mirrors, obviously. And then I was in the car for about 5 minutes, well, 5-10 minutes, actually no, not even 10 minutes. And it was just a joke, really. I think we were doing a hill start, and I was trying to set off from the hill start once I'd stopped, and I couldn't get it going. I was shaking, I was all over the place. Stalled it again, and then on the third stall I just had a massive meltdown. in hysterics, crying, and the examiner had to call my instructor to come and drive the car back. It was all very, very embarrassing. And then Brad had to drive me home to Cannock again from Sheffield, all that way. And it wasn't a very pleasant journey because I was just being morbid and, you know, I bloody hate myself, why couldn't I do it, and all that. So that was that. Then I had a new instructor in Cannock, a lady, and I don't know if it was my first or second lesson, she was tutting at me, she was shouting at me, well, not shouting at me, just snapping at me, and I just thought, you know what, I've had this ordeal, like my first test, I'm trying to build my confidence up, and the last thing I need is somebody tutting at me and making me feel like shit, like I'm trying my best, you know what I mean? Been learning for a year, I'm putting 110% in, I really want this, so, you know, I'll have less of the attitude. So I stopped with her and I said, I had a bit of a hissy fit, I said, I'm never driving again, I'm not going to be able to do it, I'm thick and all this. And then found another instructor, and she was really nice, like really lovely, really calm, really friendly, you know, I had a laugh with her, and she tells you things straight, you know, in a way that you can understand, but without being bossy. Do you know what I mean? She was very, very good at her job. And I retook my test in Featherstone near Wolverhampton in March, I think. Failed that because I was in the left lane when I should have been in the middle lane on the last roundabout of the independent drive, and I think if I'd have got that right lane I would have passed, because I think I only had 3 minors on that one, which was a bit gutting, but I reacted quite well to that one, because, you know, the one before I really gave myself a hard time about it, and yeah, just I was really pissed off at myself. But this time I was just like, you know what, whatever, you know, third time lucky. Not third time lucky. The third one, I think this was a month after, or even more than that maybe, I can't remember, it all merges into one, because there's such a long waiting list. I was really nervous on this one, and I think I got 2 fails. I can't even remember what I failed on, to be honest, because, you know, and then I had to wait again, and then I think I took my 4th one in July, a couple of months ago, and it was the shittiest drive that I've ever done. It was fucking shit. Well, it weren't the shittest one that I've ever done, it the shittest one since becoming test ready, do you know what I mean? So I were all over the shop, I really were. I didn't know what I were doing, I didn't know what planet I were on, I don't know why I was so out of control. I don't think I had much sleep the night before because of being so nervous. I had rescue remedy, I had I did a hypnosis video the night before, and on the morning of it as well, that did jack shit. And yeah, I think I had some calms as well, but I made sure that I ate and drank, and I had some water with me and all that, like, you know, I did everything, I really did everything, but I still buggered it up massively. I think I got 3 serious faults on that one. Can't remember what for. I screwed the sheet up when he gave it me, and I was absolutely furious with myself on that one, after that one. Yeah, really gave myself a hard time about it. And the 5th one, the 5th and final one, was last Wednesday, and I had 4 propanolol, and I was feeling all right. I was in a good mood, you know, very calm. I mean, it might have been that feeling of being normal without anxiety. I'm like, bloody hell, you know, what's up with me? So yeah, and then I had a lady instructor, because I forgot to say I've had all male, examiner. I've had all male examiners, and I'm not saying that male examiners aren't good, but they were all very stern and very, you know, didn't give you feedback, didn't give you any indication as to whether you're doing whether you're doing things right, or, you know, don't really talk to you, and like, you know, I didn't like that. But this lady, she was lovely, called Amanda, and yeah, she was chatty with me, but she was chatty at the right times, you know, not at the times when you need to concentrate and that. And you know, I had quite a laugh with her, really, and I didn't even go as far as to say that I enjoyed the test. And I never thought I'd say that. And I think it was a combination of the propanolol, which I highly recommend, as a last resort, obviously, and the lady examiner that was really nice, because I didn't think that she was allowed to do it, but, you know, after my manoeuvre, she said to me that was really good, that. And my manoeuvre was at the start of the test, because I did was it a reverse bay park? Yeah, it was. It was a reverse bay park. And to be fair, I did it perfectly, you know. But, you know, she got out of the car as well, and I thought, oh, fucking hell, here we go. You know, she's going to be like proper anal about everything, which I guess you need to be an examiner, don't you? But I thought, God, she's going to be grumpy. But no, she got back in the car and she was like, well done, that was really good. And then told me, you know, it's time for the independent drive. Hair's really naughty. And that were it, you know. It kind of got me in an even better mood. And I don't know, it gives you a bit of a confidence boost, really, doesn't it? And to know that you're on the right track. So yeah, and we sat in the car afterwards, and I was starting to shit myself again, because I was just like, please, you know, so I couldn't afford another test, I'd got no money in the bank. And she said, congratulations, and I felt like jumping on her. I mean, I was crying, happy tears, shaking and everything. I just couldn't believe that I'd passed, because you get used to leaving the test centre and wanting to do a number on yourself. You know, it's just like, I mean, everybody takes it differently, but, you know, there has been times where I've really given myself a hard time for it and got really upset, and you just get fed up of just feeling shit and feeling stupid, and, you know, you just want to get it done, and you know that you can do it, and it's bloody frustrating. But when she told me that I passed, like, it were as if everything that I'd been trying to, you know, all of that had just gone, and I realised that I didn't have to do any more lessons, I didn't have to book another test when I got home. That was it. So yeah, so my advice would be, if you are of a nervous disposition, or you're getting really nervous on your test and it's affecting your concentration and you're not driving as well as you should, I do recommend propanolol. And usually I wouldn't recommend like pharmaceuticals and that. I only take stuff like that if I really need to, if it's really affecting my life, because I don't like animal testing and stuff like that. But you know, it got to a point where I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to pass this without taking something, or you know, just doing something else, because I'd tried everything else and it did really work. And a lot of people that I know actually have done the same thing and passed because they've had propranolol and it calms them down and stuff. So it's not just me, like I have heard from a lot of people that it does help, and it doesn't make you drowsy as well. It's not like diazepam and stuff. It doesn't make you drowsy. You know, your concentration's not affected. It is really good for passing your driving test. The other thing is, and to be honest, I'm such a hypocrite saying this, but try not to give yourself a hard time because it does make things a lot worse. And I think that was part of the reason why I kept failing, because I thought, you know, where I live now, it's not like in Sheffield where there's buses every 5 to 10 minutes to everywhere. Everything's spaced out like all over the place, and the bus system down here is shit. Like, it is fucking shit. I think there's like one bus every 3 to 5 business days. It is just wank. I've waited for buses at 11 o'clock at night that hadn't turned up, and then poor Brad's got to pick me up. So, you know, when you've got a lot riding on it and you're putting pressure on yourself and stuff, it just makes it a lot worse. So just try and just concentrate on the test, concentrate on everything the person's saying, and just give it your best shot. And if you fail it, just take it again. You know. The other thing I'd suggest as well is budgeting, because you can't do what I did and think, I am going to pass my test in February, because it doesn't work like that. You know, I thought I was going to be alright. I'd pass before or at the same time as I was moving down to Cannock, but I failed it. So I haven't had a car or anything for this amount of time, and you know, I've spent a lot more money on lessons to kind of refresh my memory, build my confidence back up and all that. And a lot of money on tests. So you need to think, you know, that this could be something that takes a little longer than you anticipated. And that's fine, because, you know, people do it at their own pace, and, you know, for different reasons. It doesn't mean you're thick, don't mean just to say that you're stupid. It's just how things are, and a lot of the time, you know, the fails on your test are just down to luck. You know, if somebody pulls out in front of you and you panic, like, or gets too close to you, it's not really your fault, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff like that happens, and you can't really control it, which is shit, but it's just the way it is, you know. Another thing is, I mean, for nerves and that, is exercise. I mean, I didn't have access to a gym or anything, so, and I used to exercise a lot because it does help with the old brain, as well as physically. But I've not been going, and I found it harder to manage my nerves and that. So with hindsight, I would have, you know, exercised and stuff, because that does keep you calmer and keep you more focused, helps you sleep better. So, and just make sure that you have something to eat and drink. Bring a bottle of water with you, bring some paracetamol with you, just in case you get a tummy ache or an headache or something, because anything like that can happen during the test or just before the test could affect your concentration and whatnot, make you panic a bit more. And yeah, that's it really. So if you are one of those people that has failed your first one or a couple of tests or a few tests, you will do it. And people said this to me and I was like, yeah, of course I fucking will, you know, fake me, can't do anything right. But now looking back, I'm like, well, they were right, you know, of course I was going to do it. But it's easy to get bogged down and think, you know, that you're not going to do it. But if you want something that bad, this is so cheesy, but if you want something that bad, you will do it. As long as you stick to it and you don't give up, you will do it. So yeah, that's my driving test experience. And as I said, I'll do another video about how Asperger's affects driving, go into detail more specifically with that. So yeah, thank you for watching and good luck if you've not passed your test yet. If you've got another one booked, you can do it. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya.